Tonight, the stars in cars of the Afterburner Motorsports League takes on the Talladega Superspeedway for the Gary Silvey 50-50 race. Who will come out on top when the dust settles and the smoke clears? And it's coming your way next, live on DRTV, right after a few words from our sponsors.
NRT Game Servers is your best option for your gaming development needs. State-of-the-art technology combined with some of the best voice talent and software out there, NRT gives a quality gaming experience. Dedicated to their craft, NRT provides quality product and services. Contact NRT Game Servers today at 828-212-4040 or at www.nrtservers.com today for a quality gaming experience.
And we welcome you to DRTV's live coverage of Afterburner Motorsports Gary Silvey 50-50 Memorial Race tonight from the Talladega Superspeedway here in Talladega, Alabama, the beautiful 2.66 mile superspeedway located the high banks, fast speeds all night long around here. A great field of cars on hand, of course, over here making our return trip to Afterburner Motorsports. My name is Phil Lacasse, along with my broadcast partners, Too Tall Todd Stanton, Mr. TV Time Rich Patton. A full field of cars here, guys. I count 20 cars strong, Todd. Qualifying times already on the board, and we're set and locked and loaded for 66 laps of action-packed racing here at the Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, back after a long night last night, partying here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Rich and Phil and myself were down in infield waiting for this race to come along after our race last evening with the Saturday night special guys. It was a real interesting race last night, and I'm ready for this race too. A little bit under the weather, but I'm ready, Phil.
Yeah, as you say, Todd, we were here all last night at Talladega Superspeedway, spent the night over here, got to hang out in the infield, and quite the atmosphere of the Talladega Superspeedway. Down in the DRTV control booth, as always, is Mr. TV Time Rich Patton. Rich, it was a wild night last night. You know, the race included, the overnight festivities. Found you passed out down there in the DRTV control booth here first thing this morning. So I know you've been hard at work all afternoon getting ready to go for this one. And looks like we had a great field of cars on hand, and should be a really, really good race we have.
Yeah, most definitely. We're no stranger over here at Afterburner Motorsports. We like televising them. We like when they come and use our services. And I think tonight we're going to be in for a good store or a good show. Class group of guys, Talladega, super duper drafting track. In the trucks, no doubt. We saw the Gen 6 last night in another league. Tonight we're playing with the trucks out here. Not quite as long of a race. We're only going to be doing 66 laps. Pit window's still going to be between 18 and 20 laps, it looks like. Looking forward to possibly some green flag pit stops. So it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out and what kind of racing we see here, whether it's going to be 2 wide, 3 wide, and whatnot they're going to do with these trucks.
Yeah, absolutely right. Well, we'll set the stage for that. 66 laps around the 2.66 mile Talladega Superspeedway will make up the Gary Silvey 50-50 race here for Afterburner Motorsports tonight. Just about 10 minutes or so away from putting these things on the grid. Qualifying times have already clicked up on the board, and tonight's pole sitter is car number 52, or I say truck number 52 rather, in the trucks this evening. That's Jeff Prutzman, clocked in at a 51.700. And Todd, you look outside the front row, that's Michael Blake in number 81. He clocked in a 51.704. 4 thousandths of a second make up your front row. An ultra quick time. You look up and down the board, as them top 4 cars, that being Bernie Moms in the 4 and Bob Dixon in the number 43, who start outside row timber 2. Those guys clocked in 51.711 and 51.713 respectively. Top 4 cars all in the 51 second bracket, but then you look down through the top 5 guys in the 52 flat range, 52-1, all the way sprinkled down this 20 car starting field. And we really interested to see how this track plays out. We know how it takes effect from qualifying down into race trim, and we really interested to see if them fast cars can stay up front all night long in that top 4.
They got to see if some of these guys are going to hook up and draft together. A lot of friends out there. We've seen that last night here at the Talladega Superspeedway. 2 guys getting together and drafting out front all evening long. Stayed out of all the trouble, and it ended up prevailing for one of the guys coming out with the win. And we're going to have to see if that happens here this evening. Looking at Michael Blake in that number 81 qualifying outside pole. If you remember correctly, Phil, Michael Blake was one of them last chance qualifying races way back when we ran with the NRT 500. Michael Blake, no stranger to a victory lane here at one of these super speedways.
No, you hit that right on the head. Absolutely not. No stranger. And, you know, great to see all these guys at Afterburner Motorsports. A great group of guys, as Rich said, and a studded field of trucks here tonight. And great guys over here at Afterburner Motorsports. Can't say enough good things about everything they got going on over here. A lot of great racing series, and Ray and all the gang here at Afterburner are really taking good care of us to get this event together. So looking forward to it. 66 laps makes up this Gary Silvey 50-50 race at the Talladega Superspeedway. Nice high banked oval, should make for some really good 2 and maybe 3 wide racing. 20 trucks the field here tonight, and we look down through some of the practice times here. We're in happy hour, just about 7 minutes plus before they put these trucks on the grid, and you look up at the top of the board, it's Jimmer in the number 26. He's clocked in, Todd, quick on the board so far, 47.997. If you look at that happy hour quick time versus our pole speed being 51.700, that's almost 4 full seconds these guys are going to pick up on the draft. I guess that's really going to up the ante, and it should make for a fantastic race out here.
Yeah, indeed, it's going to make up for a fantastic race. Drafting going to play a key factor. Another thing that's going to play a key factor is pit stop strategy. If we stay green flag, what are they going to do? What kind of strategies are they going to be able to pull off? A lot of difference between an open setup and a fixed setup. You can't change the setup. You can't change the setup pretty much at all with a fixed setup. But when you come down pit lane, you still have choices. You can take 2 tires. You can take 4 tires. You can take gas only here at the Talladega Superspeedway. So there's going to be interesting to see how all these strategies and different strategies play out. One of the guys to keep an eye on with strategy-wise is the number 6, is Jeff Bond. We've seen him live on DRTV quite a bit. Jeff Bond, one of them strategic people that knows how to stretch that field, knows how to make his truck last.
Well, yeah, he said Jeff Bond, one of them guys, always likes to keep his way out of trouble and likes to bring that thing home. And Jeff's one of them connoisseurs there as far as guys who ride around in the back, take care of their equipment, and save as much fuel. If we know a few mileage king in this NASCAR Racing 2003 community, I can't think of a better guy at saving fuel than that number 6 of Jeff Bond. Great to see Jeff out on top of board. That number 6 as always, and a great field of guys on hand. Of course, Afterburner Motorsports, Gary Silvey 50-50 race here this evening here live on DRTV. Thrilled that we have this one on the call for you here this evening. Phil, Todd, and Rich on the call. Just about a little under 5 minutes away till we get this thing under green flag conditions. Let's see if we can't get a word with a man in charge here at Afterburner, that being Ray Hewlick, the number 18. We'll see if we can't get Ray on the horn. Ray Hewlick, it's Phil, Rich, and Todd in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Hi, Phil. How you doing?
I'm doing great, buddy. An awesome field of trucks out here tonight. I count 20 strong, ready to take the green flag. A fantastic event you have going on over here tonight. Tell us some background about this event, this Gary Silvey 50-50 race.
Gary was a driver here at Afterburner for as many years as I can remember. And he kind of just, disappeared late last year. And we lost... Robert disappeared too, was another one of our drivers. And then one day, one of our drivers, John Godfrey in the 3-car, went searching on the internet and he come across Gary's obituary, and it was like getting hit in the face with, losing a good friend, because we had that race last year for Brian Freeman, who also passed away right before Christmas.
Yeah, I always hate to hear them stories. We do these tribute races, and it's a way to pay homage to the fallen guys. You say this NASCAR Racing 2003 community is exactly that. It's a community. It's a brotherhood. We all rise up and pay tribute to these guys, and Gary Silvey, no doubt, very, very fondly remembered by everybody here at Afterburner Motorsports and throughout this NASCAR Racing 2003 community. We're still alive and strong, and you talk about alive and strong, you guys here at Afterburner, you guys have been around a long, long time. Give us some background to what you guys have going now as far as racing series and what nights of the week, and how can guys get involved at Afterburner Motorsports?
We actually are racing 5 nights a week. Sunday night is usually our Cup Series where we run the Gen 6 mod from BR. Monday night is our Truck Series with the CWS 2015. Tuesday night is our Xfinity Series. We run these are all fixed setups so far. Tuesday night is the Xfinity Series with the NWS 13 CTS, not CTS, but GNS. Wednesday night, we run, it's kind of a weird series, but it's our NWS 13 with CTS physics and open setups, and we run a various different tracks from what the trucks run, to what Nationwide runs, to what the Cup Series runs, and that is probably our most favorite series among the drivers. And then Wednesday night is our Cup 2015, which is also open sets following the Cup schedule. And right now we're in talk to doing a road course series, which is a non-point series for guys that want to learn to do road courses.
Well, that sounds like a lot of great things you have going over here now. Ray, where can these guys find you online as far as a website for Afterburner Motorsports?
You can look us up at www.afterburnermotorsports.com. We also have a Facebook group at Afterburner Motorsports Sim Racing League.
All right, well, fantastic ways to get involved here. A great group of guys over here, Ray and all the bunch here at Afterburner Motorsports. Ray, a great field. I count 20 guys took qualifying times this evening. You're going to come from deep in the field, rolling the 18 off from 19th. What's your strategy going to be here early on in the going?
I do believe that this race is going to go green from start to finish. My plan is to stay in the draft, quick pit stops, and hopefully bring my GMC Sierra top 5.
All right, well, we'll be rooting for you, Ray. Good luck, and on behalf of all of us here at DRTV, thanks for having us over here tonight, and good luck. This will be a great race.
I thank you guys for giving us the chance to put on a great show for everybody that's watching.
All right, Todd, Ray Hewlett, Afterburner Zone over here, and hats off to Ray for getting us all organized over here to get this event underway tonight, and an awesome field we have here. Cannot wait to get this thing underway.
Yeah, I can't wait to get this. Watching YouTube chat box. These guys are down here in the chat box. Got Too Slow RTG, Terry Bauman down there in the chat box. Got Jeffrey Elliott. He's pulling for the number 9 machine of Chris Elliott here this evening. So we got a couple of guys in the chat box. Got quite a few watching. I'd like to see some more people more active in that YouTube chat box here all evening long. So we're going to have to see what happens with the YouTube chat box. So, guys, if you got a favorite out there, just let me know, and I will report it up here in the booth.
All right, of course, you guys in the YouTube chat box, thanks for all of your support out there for all you do on DRTV. And, of course, the home of DRTV, DRLRacing.com. Head over there, check out everything we have going on. A full slate of races here going on. Things are booking up into July. We have races scheduled out all through the month of August. So we're going to be a very, very busy bunch here over the next couple of weeks here. DRLRacing.com. Check out all the event packages we have there. Request to get us over to your league. Showcase everything you guys got going on at your league. And Todd, Rich, and myself will be thrilled to be a part of that. As we're about to put this thing on the grid here. These things are about 45 seconds or so from getting onto the grid. I'm going to throw it down to the booth here to Rich Patton to give a shout out to all the sponsors we have to thank for allowing us to get here this evening.
Yeah, most definitely. First off, the Gary Silvey Special Event 50/50 race. That's the reason why we're here. It's being held by Afterburner Motorsports. Also, hats off to Race LM. Afterburner Motorsports races out of Race LM Racing Servers, so hats off to them. That's where their home is. That's what they call home, and also their stats pages and everything as far as that goes. Also, we wouldn't be doing this without Afterburner Motorsport. As most of you race fans heard earlier when we were interviewing Ray, he gave a lot of information on how to get in touch with Afterburner Motorsports and get involved in that league as well. Of course, we wouldn't be able to do any of this as far as DRTV is concerned without Dave and NRT Game Servers. NRT Game Servers is the place to go for dedicated servers, for game servers and whatnot, along with TeamSpeak and other things like that. And of course, none of this wouldn't be possible to get live out on YouTube without ourselves, DRTV Sim Racing Television. So hats off to everybody involved in getting this race out there. And all the server companies involved, of course, Afterburner Motorsports, Todd, Phil, myself, Ray, everybody involved to make this event happen, and these sponsors. So hats off to them, and I think we're up for a good show.
All right, I think we're in for a great show here. 20 trucks strong. We'll race for 66 laps around the Talladega Superspeedway. Todd, it looks like these guys are about to take the grid. Happy hour has concluded. The trucks are reporting to grid, drivers are reporting to their cars, and we're about to get this thing underway. So let's roll straight into the starting lineup.
And now your starting lineup for the Gary Silvey 50/50 race here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Starting on the pole, driving the number 52, that's Jeff Prutzman, and outside of him is the number 81, that's Michael Blake.
Rolling off of a third starting position tonight will be truck number 4. That's Bernie Mobbs. And outside row number 2 in the 43, that's Bob Dixon.
Next row back, starting in the 5th starting position, that's number 48. That's Ron Dean and his dancing partner to the outside. Starting in the 6th starting position, the number 6, that's Jeff Bond.
26 machine will roll off from the 7th spot. He's going to show up on your screen as Jimmer. His real name is Jim McConnell. That and then number 26. And on the outside, the 07 shows up on your screen as B. Dazzler. We'll call him Bobby Stevenson behind the wheel of the 07.
Fire command going down for the gentlemen to start their engines down there on the speedway. Engines starting to roar. Starting in that 9th starting position, that's number 17. That's Gary Hamill. And outside of him is the number 9. That's Chris Elliott.
Eric Regan's going to roll off 11th in truck number 199 on the outside of row number 6. 12th starting position, the 15. That's Scott Musgrove.
Next row back, starting in the 13th starting position, that's number 3. That's John Godfrey. And outside of him is the 62. You're going to see him on our screen as Slot Racer.
James Donaldson will roll off next from the 15th position in truck number 71 on the outside of row 8. That is Steve Wright in number 61.
Starting in the 17th starting position, that's number 89. That's Tracy Anders. And outside of him is the number 40. That's Mike Fisher.
Afterburner's own Ray Hewlick Jr. is going to roll off 19th tonight in shotgun on the field from the 19th position on the outside, finishing up the field in row number 10, 20th starter, the 0. That is Jarek. So there you have it. That is your 20-truck starting field. These guys are on the backstretch. We're half a lap away from the green flag. And Todd, we were here at Talladega last night, saw a lot of two and three wide racing. These guys in the trucks tonight, they always make some great pack racing, able to get that great pull, make that big slingshot maneuver, and I think we're about to see a lot of 2 and 3 wide racing all around this place.
Yeah, we're going to see some 2 and 3 wide. I guarantee you that here in the YouTube chat box. The stuff that's going to go on here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Some things may not end the way they want to end here this evening. Want to go over just a little bit of this Gary Silvey 50-50 racing. They had to donate. The drivers in this race donated $15. The payout at the end of the race is as follows: 25, 15, and 10% for the first 3 finishers. The other 50% goes to the league. One of the ways the leagues can make some money here and try to offset some of the expensive costs for race servers and all kinds of other jazz that goes on, RPM, Race LM. It just depends on what kind of thing that you have going on. We're getting ready to go green flag racing here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Paceman takes that hard left-hand turn down to pit road. We're about ready to, you got Prutzman and you got Blake in the front row getting ready to get the green flag. They're still waiting on it here. Long wait before we get this green flag here. Prutzman and Blake, we're going to have to see. Green flag is in the air. It's going to take about a lap and a half for these trucks to get up to full song because of the restrictor plates here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Prutzman off to a good start.
Prutzman off to a great start in that low lane. He's going to wash up in turn number 1, trying to pull his way up to the high side and pull in front of the 81 of Michael Blake. Prutzman out there in the lead. Now the battle for the lead. Todd as they hit off of turn number 2. Here comes Bernie Mobbs in that number 4, trying to make a dash for the race lead as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, that number 4 is pretty significant to you, isn't it, Phil? Number 4, Bernie Mobbs working on the bottom side of the speedway. We're going to see some side-by-side action here. I think it's a little early to start seeing 3 wide, but these guys working pretty good together. Prutzman on the top side of the speedway. The number 4, Bernie Mobbs down there on the bottom side. These guys in line right now, 2 by 2 by 2.
2 by 2 by 2 throughout the 20-truck field. Here is a complete lap. Number 1 scored the race lead there unofficially at the line. Jeff Prutzman in the 52 currently scored as the race leader. He's on the high side, but Michael Blake and Bob Dixon on the 43 closely until the inside has the 4 of Bernie Mobbs now into the race lead. Ron Dean pushing in the number 48, and Jeff Bond on the 6 there. He's down low as well, Todd, as they come off of turn 2.
Yeah, watching the number 4 of Bernie Mobbs right now. He's in your lead, but the 48 is hungry. Ron Dean down on the inside. He's got a push from Jeff Bond. Beautifully prepared. Number 6 machine down there on the bottom side. The 52, the pole sitter. Jeff Prutzman still sitting in the 4th spot now. Looks like the high side starting to give way to the bottom here, Phil.
Yeah, the high side looks to be fading there, and the inside seems to be the way to be here in the early running as they work their way off turn number 4 and down through the tri-oval. They'll complete lap number 2. We'll put lap 3 up on the board. Race for the lead up front, 3 wide, Todd. It looks like almost for the race lead. The 4 of Bernie Mobbs look to put it up high alongside the 48 of Ron Dean. They're going to give way, racing fast and furious to the front of the field. Jeff Bond had the lead as they got into turn 1, but a new race leader as they exit turn number 2.
Yeah, new race leader being the number 26. That's Jimmer on your screen. Jim McCornell in that number 26 machine, and the number 17 of Gary Hamill right there in his tire tracks. Jeff Bond starting to slip back. That might be part of his strategy in that number 6 machine. Hamill now looking down to the bottom side of the speedway, trying to get around the 26 of Jimmer. Jimmer has no help up top right now. The 17 is high on the bottom side.
Yeah, the 17, Gary Hamill, trying to find room on that low side. Looks like Todd Botta feeding the way to go here as Jimmer lost all by himself in the high lane. For the race lead, we see that number 17 of Gary Hamill. He was pushed by the 48 of Ron Dean, and just as we say that, the 48 machine, that Chevrolet, rolls to the low side, put the 48 of Ron Dean into the lead as they exit turn 2.
A lot of lean changes here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Less so far. Ron Dean leading for the second time here this evening. I'm not sure if he led a lap, but he was out front there momentarily. These leads can change real quick here. Guys drafting together, working on the bottom side, working on the top side. These guys still 2 by 2. The number 3 of Godfrey working over the bottom side, trying to get around the 48 of Ron Dean as they come out of corner number 4.
Yeah, Godfrey's got that number 3 wound up in that low lane, but the 48 of Ron Dean fights back on the outside. He's got a good push from the 17 of Gary Hamill. Can't quite finish the pass, Todd. Looks like I'm not sure either way. If you're one of these guys out there right now, what lane are you going to pick? It looks like, as we say, the low side takes the advantage. The high side comes fighting right back, so it really looks like there's no clear-cut advantage to what line you're in right now.
Right now, we'd rather be on the high side. You see the number 48 of Ron Dean. He is trying to work over the high side, but the 3 of John Godfrey's working kind of both lanes with that number 3 machine. Worked the bottom there. Now he peeked back up to the top side. Now he's back down to the bottom. You see Godfrey working both lines, being the Pied Piper, as Phil would say.
And the Pied Piper into turn number 3 is John Godfrey in the number 3. Right behind him, Steve Wright in the 61. Haven't talked about him yet. He started from deep in the field. He's going to work his way down to the low side of John Godfrey and battle for the race lead as they hit the start-finish line. They'll put 6 of 66 up on the board here. An awesome race so far and lots of lead changes, Todd, just as you expected this CWS 15 deal.
Yeah, Steve Wright working on the bottom side, Godfrey on the top side right now. The number 3 working on the bottom side. And then here comes Steve Wright down to the bottom side trying to go side by side. Right now it looks like the bottom line is giving way to the top side this time, so it's been shifted once again, Phil. What's the difference between running on that top side and low side? Where do you prefer? I know I prefer the top side, but I've seen you on the bottom quite a few times.
Well, yeah, you have seen me on the bottom a lot, but if I'm out there so early in the race, I'm going to ride the top side. I'm going to try to just stay in the draft, not going to push myself too much, try to keep defenders on it, because you know what these speeds, these things are in excess of 190 miles per hour tonight. We've been green flag here for the first 7 laps. The average speed of the race is well over 193 miles an hour. These things are hauling the mail. So if I'm out there in my DRTV machine, as I would be, I'd be in that high lane, keeping it all out of trouble and just try to keep defenders on it. And maybe we got to get to that first round of green flag pit stops. Being 7 laps in, you're probably just shy of halfway there on your fuel window, being 18 to 20 laps, probably being the generous spot of that fuel window. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. As racing now up front, John Godfrey in the high lane now is going to be overtaken. That looked like that might have been the 48 of Ron Dean. It is the 48 of Ron Dean now out to the race lead. Now something very interesting here, Todd, we just heard over race chatter, is the rule of Afterburner Motorsports in a place like Talladega is that these guys on the low lane, they're able to get out for the lead there. And as we say, that 3 wide off turn number 2, it's Steve Wright in the 61 going to the race lead. And now just to touch on this point, I was just hearing in my ears, I guess the lane here, oh, caution! They're big wreck on the backstretch. We'll get back to that thought here as we're under the first yellow flag of the night. Contact, 3 wide action off of turn number 2. Multiple trucks involved, and Todd, you hope to think that none of these guys are tore up too terribly bad there, but there's not really much you can do in this situation.
No, not much you can do in that situation. You really have nowhere to go. Looked like when they were 3 wide there, the 48 of Ron Dean was stuck right there in the middle, and it's a sucker hole. It moves you side to side to side. It goes down to the bottom, goes up to the top, and I've been in them more than once, and you don't really want to be there. It's a bad position to be in because you feel like a ping pong ball with the drafting effect that's going on, going down the back straightaway, or any of the straightaways for that matter, and it just seemed like it just didn't end well. It looked like the 48 came down and just tapped the tapped the car on the inside of him and came back up and then got the car on the outside of him, which I think was the number 3 of Godfrey. You're going to have to see what Rich has down there in the replay booth, but tough break for some of these drivers. I don't see any of them behind the wall yet, Phil, but heavily damaged cars.
Yeah, many vehicles there involved, as Rich will show you there on the DRTV replay. Multiple truck incidents putting us into the yellow, but through the first 9 laps here, we've seen a lot of lead changes, and I was just trying to allude to here before the contact. The rule over here, Afterburner Motorsports, on these big restrictor plate tracks, you're not allowed to run that low line out to the race lead for 1 lap, and then after that 1 lap, the rule at Afterburner is that you have to cede lanes to that low side and pull up high and allow the inside line to pull up near you, kind of like a low lining rule, if you will, there. Just the way they do things over here at Afterburner Motorsports. So, Todd, I think, with that being said, you see a lot of lead change. I think we'll see a lot of that. We'll have to monitor is we're going to put 10 laps of 66 on the board, so a lot to pay attention to as we move further here. But we'll take a look back here at what put us on the yellow number 1 of the evening. I'm going to throw it down to the DRTV control booth. Rich, show us what happened.
Yeah, most definitely, guys. We're going to keep our eyes on the number 48 of Ron Dean. Started 5th tonight. Highest is going to be in the front row. Lowest is going to be 15th. Currently 15th when this happened. Ron Dean is driving that truck right in the middle of that 3-lane or 3-wide racing you're seeing for 3rd place. As we watch this, we let this roll out. It looks like Dean might get connected from the 43. 43 goes up into him, makes contact. That's going to push him up into the left rear quarter panel of the number 3. As you can see, the 3 gets up on 2 wheels. The 48's almost all the way up on the driver's door going down the track. We got other cars spinning and sliding, bumping into each other. Looks like the 40 takes a good hard hit to the wall in that beautifully repaired Eat More Chicken truck. But quite a few cars or quite a few trucks involved in this one. Good thing they're moderate damage. Hopefully they don't have too much damage. They'll be able to stay in here. But as you guys know, damage in CTS physics, it could be problems for some of these guys.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And Todd, I think he said a good word there. He said chicken, and I could use a bucket of chicken right now. A little hungry down here. We've had a long day of partying here at the Talladega Superspeedway, and a long night after spending the overnight hours here. And thrilled to be here for the Afterburner Motorsports Gary Silvey 50-50 race this evening. And unfortunately now 10 laps in under the event's first yellow flag of the night. And Todd, as we look up and down the field here, how much of a factor there 3-wide racing do you think may have just incorporated to that 48 breaking loose?
It's a big factor. It's hard to control your truck inside that draft, inside that sucker hole, as we call it, going into the black abyss. Basically, is going down through there. You don't know what's going to happen, what kind of wind effects is going to happen, and what's going to play havoc on your spoiler or anything to that matter. It's a tough break. Starting to see some of these guys come down pit road. I've seen a lot of the guys come down pit road, but I've seen Jeff Bond, one of the guys you should keep your eye on all evening long. He plays field strategy almost to the T. You got Jimmer coming down pit road also in that number 26 machine. These guys probably going to get 4 tires and a full tank of fuel and try to top off here. You might even see Jeff Bond come down for more fuel. Jeff Bond, one of them strategists, and Jimmer, I think, is following the same kind of suit in that number 26 machine.
Yeah, many guys coming to pit road under the event's first yellow night. Still a long way to go here. 66 laps distance at the Talladega Superspeedway. Under the event's first yellow flag of the night, contact on the speedway between multiple trucks involved. Those included the number 48 of Ron Dean. Let's see if we can't get a whoop the 48 driver. Ron Dean, it's Phil, Rich, and Todd in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Ron, you have an awesome run going out there in the 48. Looks like you just got a little loose there in the middle lane. Is that what happened for your end to put us under the yellow flag?
I think what the admins are saying that 43 came up into me as we was coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, 10-4. Definitely contact there between you in the 48 and the 43 of Bob Dixon, putting us under the first yellow flag. Is the 48 truck still good? Is there not a lot of damage in that thing? Can we expect to see you make a charge up through the field?
Well, I'm going to do the best I can do. They was a sawing on it, so we'll just have to wait and see.
We'll pray for the best for you behind the wheel of that 48. Ron, first time we've had you up here in the booth on DRTV. Anybody like to say hi to or thank for allowing you to get out here this evening for the Gary Silvey 50-50 race?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Starman. He's the one who let me get out here and run today. And I'd certainly like to thank a great big old thanks to Afterburners. Great league to race with.
Oh, absolutely right. Well, Todd, there you have it. That's the 48. Ron Dean out there, really, really good machine out there, was up there toward the race lead, involved in this latest incident. We'll have to keep an eye on that 48 and see if we can't bring that thing back to the front.
Yeah, I think he'll be able to. Moderate damage. If they got the saws out, he may be missing a little bit of the back end of his truck, but hopefully that won't play that much of a factor. It may make him a little loose off, Phil, if he saw the back end of his truck, but no aerodynamic damage. I'm looking at his truck right now, and it don't look that bad, so hopefully he can make his way up to the front, because he was a pretty good contender up there.
Well, he absolutely was. We're under the yellow flag, the first of the night. We'll see if we can't reset the field here. Eyes on the pit lane to see if any of these guys maybe come down the top off on the fuel, as we're hoping to get one to go on the pace truck this time around. Not seeing anybody in the way of maybe being on pit road, Todd, so we'll have to keep an eye. Oh, as we said, I find Scott Musgrove in the 15 and Jarek in the number 0. They've come down, as well as a couple of, 2 or 3 guys have come down pit road. Can't see the number on who the last one might have been. But gassing goes to these guys, getting these things full of fuel. It was a 6 of Jeff Bond. Imagine that, Todd. Jeff Bond coming down pit road for that little extra bit of fuel. Do you think a guy like Jeff Bond, and I completely kid at this point, we had a long way to go, 12 of 66 in, you think Jeff Bond can make it on one more stop from here?
Definitely not. I think he would like to think, but unless he put an oversized fuel cell in there, which would be illegal, I don't think he can make it on one more stop.
Well, we'll have to ask Jeff that if we get over with him a little later on. That Valvoline number 6 out there, beautifully repaired Ford there. As Jeff always has some nice looking paints out there, and Jeff will come from deep in the field. Looks like he'll restart right around that 20th position there. Looks like around 18th. We'll see if we can't reset the field here. I believe the lights have gone out on the pace vehicle. Yes, they are, as the field heads toward turn number 3. Let's see if we can't recap your full field here, as we're just past 10 laps, 12 on the board. Last time by Gary Hamill, the number 17 is scored as your race leader, followed by Bernie Mobbs in the 4, Chris Elliott in the 9, Mitt Surratt, known as Slot Racer on your screen in the 62, in B Dazzler, Bobby Stevenson in the 07, currently your top 5, Steve Wright, Ray Hewlett Jr., Tracy Anders, John Godfrey, James Donaldson. That makes up your top 10. Ron Dean, Bob Dixon, Jeff Prutzman, your pole sitters 13th. Michael Blake, your outside pole sitters 14th. Mike Fisher 15th. 16 through 20 to round out the field. Eric Regan, Jeff Bond, Scott Musgrove, Jim McConnell, and Jarek in that number 0. That is your full 20 truck field still on the racetrack on the lead lap. And Todd, I believe that pace vehicle has found its way to pit road, and we're going to put this thing back under green flag conditions.
Yeah, the pace van, the DRTV pace van did make that hard left-hand turn, get ready to go green flag, and it's in the air. The driver's putting their hammer down the front straightaway. Looks like Gary Hamill has the distinct advantage here early on here in this run, but then again, it could change here momentarily. These guys still getting up to speed, lapping that lap and a half for full song. You're going to hear us say that quite a bit all evening long. Restrictor plate racing here at the Talladega Superspeedway for the Gary Silvey 50-50 race here with the Afterburner Motorsports Group. Can't wait to see the finish of this, but right now we are on lap 13 of 66 going down the back straightaway, and Gary Hamill leads the number 9 of Chris Elliott.
Chris Elliott there in that Doritos Toyota, beautifully repaired number 9 out there, riding right in the second spot, all chasing race leader Gary Hamill into turn number 1. That white and green machine rolling on a low side. Here comes Chris Elliott in that high lane. He's got Bernie Mobbs there in the 4 pushing him. A lot of help in that high lane. Also up there is Mitt Surratt in the 62. They're going to make quick work of Gary Hamill. Changes amongst the top 3 as they get back to the start-finish line to complete lap 13.
Yeah, number 9, though, Chris Elliott is their current race leader with the number 4, Bernie Mobbs in that second spot. Mobbs, excuse me, in that number 4 machine. The 62 Slot Racer running in that 3rd spot.
Mitt Surratt, Slot Racer in the 62 in that 3rd spot. Chris Elliott out there in the 9 is your race leader in that Doritos Toyota. Bernie Mobbs, Mitt Surratt, Bobby Dazzler, and Gary Hamill, your top 5 into turn 3. 14 laps on the board, please. Field in turn number 3, led by Chris Elliott in that high lane. Not sure if the 9 has a little bit of connection issues. I thought it was maybe on my end, but I think the 9 may have just disappeared off the screen. A developing situation in the Chris Elliott camp. Off the monitor, he did not lose connection to the race server. That'd be a tough break, Todd, as he was out there in the race lead. contact on the racetrack that's going to put us under the yellow flag. Ray Hulick involved in the 18. Up in the air and airborne, not exactly sure what happened to put us under the yellow flag. Rich will no doubt go back and find that, and an incredible hit there for the 18 of Ray Hulick. I just found that on scrolling back through my replay. Flying through the air, almost going to get his pilot's license, and unfortunately for Ray Todd, hopefully not too tore up in that number 18.
Yeah, hopefully he's not tore up. It looked like he was ready for a launch here with that number 18 machine. Looked like a NASA space shuttle going up into the air, and it looked like he kind of landed on his side in that number 18 machine. Hopefully he's not too tore up. Looks like the number 40 of Mike Fisher is going to be our first casualty of the evening for the Gary Silvey 50-50 race here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Not sure what happened to the number 40 of Mike Fisher, but he is out of the event here, retired and behind the wall. Looks like Chris Elliott, with his connection issues, is now one lap down with that number 9 machine. So tough break for Chris Elliott, who had the lead, and then all of a sudden looked like the aliens almost came and snatched him up there, Phil.
Yeah, unfortunately for Chris Elliott camping, I think, as we would call it here, he fell completely out of the race server. Has not yet to reconnect, so that's a developing situation there. He was out there with Doritos Toyota out in the race lead, and unfortunately now going to be scored at least one lap in the rears as he's unable to reconnect to the server. We are 16 laps in early on of the go here in this Gary Silvey 50-50 race here from Afterburner Motorsports on DRTV. We're under the event's second yellow flag on lap number 16, and let's throw it down now to the booth to Rich to show us what happened.
Yeah, guys, we're going to keep our eyes on Ray's truck. The number 18 started 19th to 9th. Highest position was 5th. Lowest is 19th. Currently 16th when this event took place. And it looks like the 61 and the 18 might have got together. Not sure if the 61 came up or the 18 went down, but basically that's what started this. And Ray shows us how to get some air at Talladega. They're going to make contact. 61 hits him on the left rear quarter panel. Looks like that's going to put his truck facing the wrong direction. That wing grabs the air, picks that truck up, throws it up on its nose, tosses it back up on the track in front of a bunch of other guys. Looks like everybody's going to avoid him. And then all of a sudden, the 199, it looks like, plows right into Ray as he comes back down the middle of the track. That's going to send him back up on his lid, back spinning around, back down on the apron, out of the way of this high bank track. And he comes to a sliding stop in the number 18. I'm sure he's going to have a lot of damage after this one, guys.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ray, a big hit. Flying through the air. Maybe, Todd, he might have gained his pilot's license. Not exactly the way Ray Hulick wanted to spend the majority of this night here for the Gary Silvey 50-50 under the event's second yellow flag of the night. Guys have been on and off the pit road, getting tires, getting it full of fuel, and we've talked about one guy all night long, Todd. We call him the fuel mileage king, Jeff Bond, in that number 6. We'll see if we can't get a word with the driver of the 6, that being Jeff Bond. Jeff, it's Rich, Phil, and Todd in the booth. Do you have a copy?
10-4.
Jeff out there in that awesome-looking Valvoline Ford number 6, as you always are out there tonight. So far in the early going, how's that thing treating you?
The truck is real good. We're taking it easy and staying in the back, letting some of these guys get up front and mix it up.
All right. Well, we were kidding here a little bit ago under the first yellow flag here. I think we were about lap 11 or 12 there. I asked Todd the question. You're known as the fuel mileage king. If anybody can save that extra couple laps of fuel, it's Jeff Bond. The joke between Todd and myself, do you think Jeff could make it from where we were? Jeff, can you make it for one more stop here? I know we got a long way to go, but you seem to be the king.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try to stretch the fuel as far as I can because I think that's the key to this race, is stretching your fuel.
All right, well, that's Afterburner's Jeff Bond. Jeff, real quick, while we got you up here, I don't get to talk to you too terribly much here on DRTV. Anybody like to say hi to or thank for letting you get out here this evening?
Well, I got to thank Rich and DRTV and you for coming and putting this on for us so everybody can see us out here on the track. And I got to thank my league, Afterburner, and the good Lord.
All right, well, Jeff, good luck the rest of the night. We'll hope to see that Valvoline Ford in victory lane. Good luck.
Thank you. 10-4.
All right, Jeff Bond, the number 6, one of the great guys in this community. If you ever, need help with a setup or just advice how to tweak your settings, Jeff Bond was one of them great guys to go to, and no doubt he'll be a factor before this one's out.
Yeah, no doubt he will be a factor. He can keep that truck clean and green the whole way and make sure he stays out of trouble, keeping his nose clean. And if Jeff Bond can do so and stretch his fuel mileage, like he said, he's going to be one of them guys to watch up front, making his run to the front. And you'll see the number 6 in victory lane here this evening. But got You're going to have to see some of these other drivers first, see what they're able to do. A lot of these guys down on pit road for the second time here in this yellow flag period. The 52, I've been watching the 52 machine down there. Jeff Prutzman, he was our outside pole sitter. Prutzman took 4 tires and a full tank of Sunoco Racing Fuel. He's back down and away. He's joining the tail end of the field. A lot of the other trucks following behind him. Jeff Bond was another guy down there on pit road. Imagine that, Phil. Once again, Jeff Bond on pit road. You'd have to see how many pit stops he takes during a race like this.
I'd imagine he'll come down every chance he can get. Will Jeff in that number 6. So we joke with Jeff, but it is very, very true. He's one of them guys out there, always great with that clutch pedal, always saving all the fuel he possibly can. So we'll have to keep an eye on the progress at number 6. He'll once again come from deep in the field. Looks like, Todd, 18 machines left on the racetrack. Mike Fisher in the number 40, the first one officially scored out of the event, and also the 9 of Chris Elliott. Looks like he just had some connection problems to the server, fell straight out of the server, has yet to reconnect, so I'm not sure if the night is done for that number 9, which is definitely a tough break, as he was very, very fast out there in that Doritos Toyota, was out in the race lead. Unfortunately, lose connection. He's currently scored 3 laps down and will lose it from here. Have not yet seen him reconnect from the server. So just to recap here, under the second yellow flag of the night here at DRTV, Afterburner Motorsports, Gary Silvey, 50-50 tribute race here this evening. Your current race leader is Bobby Stevenson in that number 07, currently on your screen as B Dazzler. That's Bobby Stevenson in the 07. He's current race leader. Bernie Mom's there in that number 4, currently scored in the second spot last time by. Field will definitely reshuffle as guys have come on and off the pit lane, hoping to see the lights go out on the pace vehicle this time around. A long way around this Talladega Superspeedway, 2.66 miles, makes for some long pace laps, slowed by 2 yellows here within the first 20 laps. The average speed of the race under the first initial green flag, we've seen well over 193 miles an hour. That has dramatically slowed now. It's now under 120, 119.176 scored last time by. But the good news, Todd, the lights are out on the pace car. We're about to turn the wick back up on these things and hope to see that average speed of the race climb back up toward 170 miles per hour. Is I got a feeling these guys out there are going to be looking now with 2 early yellows to take care of their stuff. So hopefully we'll get to see some green flag racing and maybe even our first round of green flag pit stops.
Yeah, your first round of green flag pit stops is going to be crucial. If these guys can get to that point, you're going to start seeing some pack separation between these guys. Dazzler right now is your current race leader, like you said. Bernie Mobs in that second spot. Going to have to see what these guys do. Interesting thing here, Phil. It looks like they go double file restarts here also as a way to land at Afterburner Motorsports. I'm not sure. Maybe that was just to stay out of trouble. But it looks like they do go double file here on their restarts. So it's interesting to see what kind of position these guys come in when they go back to green flag racing.
No doubt, double file restarts looks like the way to land over here at Afterburner. And, you know, one of the great things about double file restarts is nobody is out of it. I mean, you're going to restart here from 18th. You're only going to be 9 rows deep. You can make a great move on the outside. Or if you can find a lane, make that thing peak down low 3 wide. You can make up a lot of ground in a hurry, especially with the draft, as it plays a big role here at the Talladega Superspeedway. We've seen times from qualifying in the 51-second range and times in the draft clocking almost 4 seconds faster than our Bud pole sitter tonight, that being Jeff Prutzman in that number 52. Qualifying had a great time, 51.700. These guys were practicing in that high 47 to low 48 second range in the draft. So draft playing a big key so far. We're going to put 20 laps up on the board this time by. The pace truck has found its way to pit road, and we're going to put the field back in the hands of that number 07. B Dazzler, Bobby Stevenson, the 07, Bernie Mobs, the outside on number 4, Todd. Started looking over the field. Green flags back in the air.
Green flags back in the air, and happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. I know it's been a nice day for me, and I know it's been some good days for you guys. Happy Father's Day here on the 21st of June. Also the first day of summer, as B Dazzler right now in that 07 machine takes command with the number 4 of Bernie Mob sitting in that second spot. Third is the number 62 of Slot Racer, the 43 machine trying to work over the top side. That's Bob D. Bob D trying to work over the top side on the number 26 machine of Jimmer right now. Top group starting to get some momentum there. Phil, we're going to start seeing 2x2 again here momentarily.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. As the top side looks to be the fastest way around. And as we sail that into turn number 3 and 4, here comes Jimmer in the number 26. Looks like he made the pass from 6 now up into that 3rd position. So a great run for the 26. He's currently going to be scored 4th and now going to try his pull alongside the 62 slot race. So that's Milt Surratt, the number 62, currently 3rd. All chasing race leader Bobby Stevenson in the 07 to turn 2.
Yeah, Stevenson still continues to lead in turn 2 and off down the back straightaway. The number 07 still continuing to lead the number 4 of Bernie Mobb. The number 62 of Slot Racer still running in that 3rd spot, but here comes the number 26 of Jimmer. Jimmer trying to get into the 3rd spot in the number 26 machine. He has no help on the bottom side right now, trying to do it all by himself here momentarily. We're going to have to see if he can make a run. Now he does have help in forms of the number 3 of John Godfrey.
John Godfrey in that number 3. Tracker Boats, Bass Pro Shop, Chevrolet found his way to the low side, trying to give that good push to Jimmer in that number 26. Can't quite make the headway alongside of that 62 of Milt Surratt, that slot racer on your screen in that number 62. Still all chasing B-Dazzler, that's Bobby Stevenson in that number 07. Bernie Mobb's right there in that blue number 4, currently 2nd. Baton as they come off of turn number 2. The inside lane looks to have made a little bit of traction as now as Jimmer is going to find his way now, battling for 2nd as they hit down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Jimmer's on the bottom side trying to get around Bernie Mobbs in that number 4 machine, trying to work it over. That's the fastest way around the Talladega Superspeedway, but when you have not as much help as that top line had right now, it's really hard to make way. The top line has now they only have 4 trucks in the top line, so now the bottom line has also 4 trucks, so kind of an even keel here as Jimmer now pulls up alongside of the number 07 machine of Dazzler, trying to hold on to that lead on the top side.
Yeah, Dazzler up high in the 07, Jimmer's down low in the 26. Still 2 wide racing throughout this pack. 18 trucks strong still on the racetrack and all still in tow with the race leader, separated by about just 1.7 seconds last time by. All tight-knit in that pack at excess of 190 miles per hour around the Talladega Superspeedway. 2.66 high-bank triable Superspeedway makes for some great pack racing as you're seeing here tonight here on DRTV. Rich, I'm going to throw it down to you into control with me. You may have an update on that number 9 of Chris Elliott.
Yeah, most definitely keeping tabs on the chat box here in YouTube, and it sounds like they're reporting in that Chris Elliott's wife may have accidentally turned off the internet on him. Oh my, Chris, tough break tonight for the number 9. But that's the word in the street. Chris' wife's accidentally turned off the internet. So big shout out to Jeffrey Elliott for giving us that information in the chat box. And just to keep you guys up to date, we are monitoring that chat box. If you got anything out there for us, let us know. We'll be sure to get it over the air for you. Back up to you guys.
All right, Todd, I'm not exactly sure how to follow that. Being Father's Day, I feel so helpless for Chris Elliott out there with the race lead. I got to say hello and I can't say I'm sorry after Chris and his wife. Accidents happen, but wow, Todd, it's just so unfortunate there to be taken out of the race lead so early on in this event as we've just now passed the 1/3 mark.
Yeah, lap 25 of 66 here at the Talladega Superspeedway for the Gary Silvey 50-50 race. Looks like that top side has kind of died off. The bottom side starting to work it over now with a brand new race leader. Once again, the number 26 of Jimmer is your current race leader with the number 3 of John Godfrey sitting in that 2nd spot. Here comes the 89 of Tracy Anders. Anders is coming out of nowhere. We haven't said anything about the 89 truck, and now he's working over the bottom side trying to get around Godfrey in 3 and 4.
Have not talked about Tracy Anders in that number 89. He's found his way down to the low side, now trying to work his way up toward the race lead, chasing Jimmer in that high lane in the 26. Jimmer's going to power his way by with the help of Godfrey in the number 3. Anders still fighting down there in the low side. He has help from Gary Hamill in the number 17. As we're 3 wide for 4 Todd as they hit turn 1.
Yeah, 3 wide. We got Hamill on the bottom side. You got Slot Racer in the middle of the 07 of Dazzle. Dazzle now drops out of it, rolls out of the throttle. He's going to fall back. Looks like somebody might have touched the wall there. They saved it. I'm not sure who it was. Might have been maybe the 52 machine. I'm not sure who hit the wall and saved it. Amazing save. And we're still back up front with Jimmer. Still clean and green with the number 3 of John Godfrey sitting in the 2nd spot. 89 Tracy Anders fell back to the 5th spot. So since the last time we talked, Anders now back to 6th in that number 89. So that run on the bottom side did not help Anders at all.
No, absolutely, and a big kudos and hats off to the 52 of Jeff Prutzman. I believe that's who we've seen bounce off the outside wall, as Rich, I think, is going to try to give you a picture-in-picture look of what the 52 just did. A miraculous save by the 52. Rich, I'll throw it down to you. I believe you can show us on a quick replay here as to what happened to that 52. An awesome save.
Yeah, most definitely. Looking at a split screen view here. Top left screen is the live view. Bottom right screen, we're going to watch what happened. This was between Ray and the 18. And also we're looking at, I believe it was the 52, if I'm not mistaken. Let me clarify that. Yeah, 52 of Brutzman. We're going to watch this play out. They're going to make contact. It's just amazing save. 18 goes up into 52. 52 bounces off the wall. They're both up on 2 wheels at some point, assisting each other to keep it straight. We did see one car dive down on the apron to avoid it, thinking it was going to be really ugly, but they kept it straight. Probably got a little damage off the wall, but amazing driving by these guys, keeping their truck pointed in the right direction. Back up to you.
Yeah, but unfortunately there with the contacting guys making them evasive maneuvers to miss what looked like it might have been a catastrophe out there. Another multiple car incident. Great driving by all involved, but now Todd, that's going to put 13 drivers out in this lead pack here. Quickly approaching toward the halfway marker here. 28 laps of the 66 up on the board. Your racing of the last time by was Jimmer in the number 26 machine. John Godfrey, Bernie Mobbs, Mitt Surratt, and Eric Regan. Have not talked about Eric much in the 199. He's currently found his way up into the top 5 as they come through the tribal. They're going to put lap number 29 up on the board. Still side by side for the race lead as they hit turn 1. Todd, new race leader is Bernie Mobbs in that number 4.
Yeah, Bernie Mobbs in the number 4 is your current race leader. Slot racer racing with the, looks like the 07 of Dazzler. Dazzler working over the bottom side. That's Stevenson in that 07 machine. You see him on the screen as Dazzler. Dazzler trying to work over the bottom side to try to get around Slot Racer in that number 62 machine. Not going to be able to do so. Here comes Jimmer, the number 26. He's trying to work up on the extreme top side. He's got help from John Godfrey.
Looks like almost 3 wide for second there as they came off of turn number 4 this time around. They're going to put 30 up on the board. Jimmer in the 26 looked to peak to try to make that through off of turn number 4. 3 wide. He had to think better of that. Did not quite have the run. They come back to the start-finish line. Yellow flags on the speedway. Yellow flag fever, the 3rd of the night here, just putting 30 of the 66 up on the board, just about to the halfway marker in this one. 3rd yellow of the night. Not sure what may have happened there, guys, but was it debris on the racetrack, or Tyler, did you find contact on the racetrack?
I didn't see any type of contact on the racetrack. I almost think it was a debris caution. One of them infamous debris cautions. I don't even see the debris on the track, so I'm not sure why they're under this yellow flag. Maybe Rich will be hard at work here and try to find out what may have brought out this yellow flag, but if I have to say, it was probably a debris caution.
Yeah, I'm looking up and down the standings here and just scrolling back through my replay on this and trying to see if maybe just something just out of the ordinary happened to put us under the yellow flag. Could have just been one of them pesky debris yellows. Jock Debris seems to always find his way out onto the speedway at some point, but nonetheless, 3rd yellow flag of the night here. The Afterburner Motorsports Gary Silvey 50-50 race here tonight. An awesome race, a dash for cash, mind you here. These guys are out tonight racing for a small cash payout here amongst the top 3, and a great thing they're doing here. Afterburner Motorsports is part of this 50-50 race. The top 3 finishers will score some kind of cash bonus, and another portion of the proceeds tonight. Each driver paid their entry in to the racing this evening. 50% of that entry goes toward the Afterburner Motorsports and server fees and everything they got going on over here. Is pit road looks to be a full place, Todd, and I know you're down in the pit of our race leader, the number 4 of Bernie Mobbs.
Yeah, Bernie Mobbs coming down into service of his pit crew, nails his pit stop. He's right there. Right side tires going on that number 4 machine. Going to have to see if left sides are going to go on that also, but right now right sides looks like the crew members are going around. It's going to jack up they're going to jack up the left side, put left side tires on, full tank of Sunoco Racing fuel, and he's down and away.
Down here in the X-Side Chevrolet pit, the pole sitter, the 52 of Jeff Prutzman. Seen him make an awesome move saving that one there. That almost put us under yellow there a couple of laps ago. Contact on the racetrack. 4 tires out of the way of the lane for the 52. Maybe taking care of some minor damage from contact with the outside wall, but nonetheless, Todd, the pole sitter Jeff Brunsman, the Excite Chevrolet, is down and away.
Pit stops ending here on pit road. Didn't get a chance to catch up with anybody else. Going to have to see Jeff Bond stayed out. Must be to save another extra ounce of racing fuel. He's going to be probably one of the last guys you see down on pit road. He's right now on the back straightaway. Looks like nobody else stayed out. Besides the number 6 of Jeff Bond, the number 9 of Chris Elliott has rejoined the fray here. 16 laps in the rear, Phil. Can you get 16 laps back here this late in the going, you think?
Wow, I think if there's a tall order, it's making up 16 laps at Talladega. I'm not sure there's enough laps left if they do a wave around as far as a lucky dog is concerned, but to think if there were 16 more yellow flags, it's going to make for an extremely long night here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Working 31 laps of the 66 on the board, rapidly approaching the halfway marker. Let's see if we'll let this thing recycle through, as Jeff Bond was scored the race leader last time by, and I believe he was the only one of the top guys, Todd, to not find the pit road on the last time by. So we'll have to keep monitor there. I'm sure Jeff will find his way down pit road this time, and he's on pit road now. Todd, I'll throw it to you. Maybe you can give us an update on the pit stop there for the number 6.
Yeah, the number 6 of Jeff Bond, that Valvoline-sponsored truck here coming down into the service of his pit crew, still rolling down pit lane, 55 miles an hour. His way of laying down here at the Talladega Superspeedway, real slow compared to what you normally do out on the racetrack. Coming down through the pit stalls, he slides right into his pit stall, didn't overshoot it. Real good job by the number 6 of Jeff Bond. Right side tires going on that machine. I almost guarantee you left sides will be going on also. Yep, left side's going on. 2 full cans of Sunoco racing fuel in that number 6 machine, and he's down and away. He's going to join the tail end of the field, and I wouldn't doubt if he comes down pit road one more time just to top off that fuel.
No doubt, Jeff, and many others will probably find the pit lane here. There'll be 1 lap extra here under the yellow flag, with now having the number 9 of Chris Elliott returning to race conditions here. 16 laps down, as you said. So we're once again under the yellow flag, just now to the halfway marker here, about to put 33 up on the board of the 66 here tonight from the Talladega Superspeedway, the Afterburner Motorsports Gary Silvey 50-50 tribute race here this evening. And see if we roll around under the yellow flag, the third of the night. Let's see if we can't catch up with another one of these great drivers out here. Awesome field of guys here at Afterburner tonight. We'll see if we can't let's see if we can't talk to Tracy Anders. Tracy in the number 89. No, he's out there tonight. One of the admins over here at Afterburner, out there currently riding right in that second spot. Tracy, it's Phil, Rich, and Todd in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I got a copy.
Tracy out there in that number 89 machine, up there toward the front of the field on that last go-round. Looked like you were trying to find room on the low side, trying to find your way to the race lead. Do you think that low line's going to be the way to be, or do you think you can make that move up high?
Just a minute. It just depends on how many trucks are going with you. Seems like low side and high line's pretty equal tonight with the wind the way it is, but we'll just have to, see how many trucks go with us and take it from there.
I think you hit the nail right on the head there. How many trucks are going to go with you? I know these trucks punch a big hole in the air there at these high speeds of over 190 miles per hour. Can you make one of these passes by yourself? Can you set up to make a slingshot move? Or are you going to need help to get down past somebody and maybe even complete that pass?
Well, it's a super speedway. I think you're going to need the help. I don't think you're going to be able to do it on your own. As well as I do when it comes to this, there's really no friends at the end. So you just got to see who's going to go with you and who's not. I mean, I think that's just the way it's going to be.
All right, well, that's Tracy Anders. Tracy, I'll let you get back into the race channel there. I know you're one of the admins over at Afterburner, so I'll let you get back to the admin duties, and good luck the rest of the night, and we'll hope to see you put that 89 there up near the front as we got one half this thing left to go. Good luck the rest of the night, sir.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, Tracy.
Try to do what we can.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Todd. The 89, Tracy Anders. We'll have to keep an eye on him. He's been near the front of the field most of the night long, and we'll have to see if we can maybe put that 89 now out into the race lead.
Yeah, one interesting thing I heard him say was the wind at the Talladega Superspeedway here this evening, and the wind, I've seen it all the way up to 26 miles per hour. Right now it's sitting around 17 to 20 miles an hour. Now it's down to 13. It's coming from the west, it's coming from the southwest, it's coming from the east, it's coming from all over. Swirling winds here, almost tornado conditions here at the Talladega Superspeedway, and I know a lot about tornadoes as far as playing around and making trees fall and stuff like that, but tornado winds here almost. Now we're down to 9 miles per hour, so maybe it's going to calm down just a little bit, and you start getting that kind of whirlwind effect when these trucks start going around the speedway, and maybe it'll push maybe what's coming into the speedway away from us.
Rich, I'm not sure how to follow him. A tornado and the chopping down of trees. I guess if you want to know more, you're going to have to visit our website, drlracing.com. A lot of great things going on over there as far as racing, and also these guys have picked up into the farming community as well, and I think that's what Todd was alluding to as far as chopping down of trees. But nonetheless, we're here. The Gary Silvey 50-50 race at Afterburner Motorsports just found its way back under the green flag. The race leader now, B. Dazzler, Bobby Stevenson in that number 07. He's found his way to the race lead. Tracy Anders up there in the 89 was second there last time by. Looks like Tracy's going to maybe have to fall in line here behind Stevenson in the 07 as he went up to the high side. Now here comes Bernie Mobbs, Todd, in that blue number 4 to the low side. He's going to make that dash for the race lead as they hit toward turn 3.
Bernie Mobbs working the low side of the speedway. It looks like the number 81 of Michael Blake. He's showing up here with the 81. He's running in that second spot. Here comes Slot Racer in the 62. He's working over the bottom side along with the 3 of John Godfrey. Looks like the top side right now has not moved.
Battling up the race lead there, Bernie Mobbs in that number 4. I like to thank Rich Patton for some of the humor there in my ear. And I know we try to give you the racing action here on DRTV. Sometimes what you guys don't hear off the air, it may hear some chuckling here. We have a good time out here. I'd like to thank all the guys at Afterburner Motorsports for having us here tonight. Bernie Mobbs at number 4 got stuck in the high lane. We've seen Slot Race, so that's Milt Surratt in that 62. He tried to make it 3 wide through the middle. The 81 machine out there, Michael Blake, the outside pole sitter, he was down low in a 3 wide scenario. That has fallen back into 2 wide as they hit turns number 3 and 4. Working lap 35, they'll put 36 on the board. 30 laps to go in this big main event, the Gary Silvey 50-50 race for Afterburner Motorsports. And Todd, they're all chasing Bernie Mobbs at number 4 as they hit the start-finish line.
Yeah, top 3 right now, single file. Bernie Mobbs, and then the number 62 of Slot Racer. Michael Blake sitting in that 3rd spot. 4th is number 3 of John Godfrey. 5th is the number 61 of Stephen Wright. Right now running in that 4th spot aboard the number, or 5th spot aboard the number 61, the 89 of Tracy Anders, trying to work over the top side, trying to get around that 61 machine. He's got help from the number 26 machine. That's Jimmer. Jimmer restarted way back in the 10th and 11th spot. Now Jimmer trying to peek his way inside the top five, Phil.
Yeah, trying to find a way to top 5. They're going to be 3 wide through turns number 3 and 4 again. The 61 of Steve Wright down low. Michael Blake in that 81 there as well as Tracy Anders in the 89. 3 wide racing, now back to 2 wide. Can't call that action quick enough as they'll come off through the triangle, put it under a lap on the board. That'll be 37 this time around. Still all chasing Bernie Mobbs in that number 4. Now, Todd, if you're out there, if you're Bernie the number 4, knowing you can't hold that low line all the way around the racetrack for more than 1 lap, you think the high side might be the place to be? Maybe you can keep them guys behind you? What do you think if you were out there?
I would run up on the top side of the speedway. Hopefully I have some friends out there that are going to push me around the track and lead some laps here. But, I mean, this is a 50-50 race, Gary Silvey 50-50 race, so I'm going to try to strategically place myself at the end. Right now, if I was leading, though, I'd probably almost try to stay up in front of these guys and not work on the bottom side, of course, because you can't work it. But the top side right now would probably be the best bet, and then I would find a way to slip to the back and make a charge later in the race.
Well, so far, those guys in the high lane are just kind of playing Tweedledee, you know, doing what they do up there in the high lane, all chasing Bernie Mobbs. Will not step out of line at all. He's got push up there from Slot Racing 62, that being Milt Surratt in the 62. fanning out now almost 2 wide down the backstretch there. Michael Blake in the 81, but John Godfrey in that number 3 with help from Stevenson in the 07 B Dazzler, as he's shown up on your screen. He's 5th, currently riding up in the high lane. And now we say that here comes the 81 of Michael Blake. 3 wide for second, Todd, off of turn 4.
Yeah, 3 wide. It looks like, though, the number 81 of Michael Blake had no help down low. He's going to have to backpedal it out and try to get back in behind the number 52, or 62 of Slot Racer. Here comes the number 3 of John Godfrey. Godfrey has help from Stevenson in that 07 machine. They're working over the top side. This top lane prevailing. Looks like there's more trucks in it right now. These guys starting to really dice it up front here again. 2 wide, 2 by 2 by 2 through the field here again, Phil. John Godfrey has a distinct advantage, a slight advantage, coming down the back straightaway in that number 3 machine with the 07 of Stevenson pushing him in the 4 right now, fading back on the bottom side.
Yeah, one guy in this lead pack we have not talked much about, currently riding amongst the ranks of the top 5. I believe he's a 3rd truck in that high lane. That's the 15 of Scott Musgrove, that brick-by-brick Chevrolet out there. He's having a great ride. We have not talked much of Scott all night long, but he's out there currently riding around, but scored last time in that 5th position. He's pushing up high. He's behind the 62 of Slot Racer. Bernie Moms in that number 4 now in that low lane. Looks like he's going to lose the race lead to that number 3 of John Godfrey. They're going to be side by side off turn 2. Here comes Mob fighting back there, Todd.
Yeah, Bernie Mobbs working on the bottom side of the speedway. John Godfrey on the top side. Godfrey wants that position, but right now he has a great push from Stevenson. Stevenson in the 07 machine, giving a whale of a bump draft to the number 3 of John Godfrey down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Now Godfrey going to lose a little bit of momentum, but it seems like, Phil, when these guys are coming out of the corner on the top side, it looks like they're shot out of a cannon, and they're all kinds of quick here around the Talladega Superspeedway when you're running the top.
Well, I think with 16 trucks there in that lead draft, you know, a lot of pushing and shoving there. A lot of guys, you know, you got to play that air in the draft. You got to find the quick lane. It is real hard when you're running one of these lanes, be it the high lane, the low lane. If somebody in that outside or low lane has that big run, impossible to keep them guys behind you at them high speeds of excess of over 190 miles per hour. We just got past the 40-lap mark, working lap number 41 of the 66, so getting down to the later parts of this Gary Silvey 50-50 race for Afterburner Motorsports tonight here live on DRTV. Phil Lacasse, the Tornado, Todd Stanton, Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton on the call here this evening. 41 will put 42 laps here, so just outside of that 20-lap to go marker here at the Talladega Superspeedway. All currently chasing Bernie Moms in that number 4, but it is 2 wide. All pack racing here from first all the way back to that 16th position. That being the 0 of Jarek. Keith McAllister will be the real name there from the 0 on your screen as Jarek. There's 16 trucks, all within 1.5 seconds of the race leader. So Todd, it is truly anybody's race from here, as these guys just trying to play the drafting game. And the way of the land here is we're going to be down now, as these guys are going to get very, very close to their pit window here. The green flag stop cycle somewhere between 17 to 20 laps on the plus side. Have to keep an eye if any of these guys start coming to pit road, or can these guys maybe stay out for 4 or 5 more laps and maybe make this a one-stop race?
I think they might be able to stay out 4 or 5 more laps. It might be able to make this a one-stop race. If the guy's going to do so, like we said, we keep saying Jeff Bond might be able to do so. Looking in car, the number 62 of Slot Racer right now, looking at the rear end of the number 4 of Bernie Mobbs right now, coming down the back straightaway. The 62 of Slot Racer now coming under fire from the 81 of Michael Blake. Blake trying to work over the bottom side. Here comes the 3 of John Godfrey. Godfrey getting one whale of a bump draft from the 07 of Stevenson. Stevenson trying to get the 3 up to the lead. Right now, the 3 of Godfrey is side by side with Slot Racer coming out of 4.
Yeah, a lot of juking and jiving here amongst this group. Michael Blake in the 81 looked like he was going to try to peek that thing out from the 4th position, maybe make that 3 wide down to the low side. Could not find tracking help there. Had to fall back into that low line there. Still 2 wide all over the Talladega Superspeedway, and still all chasing Bernie Mobbs in that number 4 car. Let's see if we can't do a full field rundown here. We're 2/3 of the way home. 44 of 66 on the board. Bernie Mobbs is your race leader, followed by John Godfrey, Milt Surratt, Bobby Stevenson, Scott Musgrove, that's your top 5. 6 through 10, we find Michael Blake, James Donaldson, Tracy Anders, Gary Hamill, and Eric Regan. That's your top 10. 11 through 15, Steve Wright, Jeff Prutzman, Jimmer in the 26, Ray Hewlick Jr., and Jeff Bonds currently 15th. 16th, you find Keith McAllister. That's the 0. That's Jarek. He's currently 16th, still in that lead tow with the draft. 17th, still on the speedway, just off the tail end of that draft, is Ron Dean in the number 48. Bob Dixon in the 43. He's the last car on the racetrack, currently scored in the 18th position. Chris Elliott currently 19th. 18 laps in the rear. Think Chris may be out there once again making laps there, trying to limp this thing to the finish. And running at the field tonight, the first one and the only vehicle out of the event, the number 40 of Mike Fisher. That's your full field rundown here for the Afterburner Motorsports Gary Silvey 50-50 race from the Talladega Superspeedway. But Todd, we turn our attention back to the front of the field, still all chasing Bernie Mobbs as they exit turn 4.
And Bernie Mobbs still continuing to lead. For those of you who are joining us late here on DRTV, this is a Gary Silvey 50-50 race, meaning that they had to pay a $15 donation here to get in this race. The payout at the end of the race is follows. The 25% goes to the winner, 15 to second, 10% to third. Also, the other 50% goes to the lead, kind of like a fundraiser here for the Afterburner Motorsports group here. Great racing going on here. John Godfrey now, they're putting down the 43, down 1 lap. Bob D. John Godfrey working in that third spot. He's getting a whale of a push from that 07 machine of Dazzler. Dazzler, or Stevenson for that matter, the 07 machine, trying to push the 3 of Godfrey, and it looks like those two are hooked together almost like we had last night. The 07 and the 3 have not left each other pretty much all evening long.
No, they really haven't. I've been riding along with the 81 of Michael Blake. He's been riding in that low lane. Not a lot of help down there. Not making much waves as far as progress up through the field. Michael was scored last time by in that number 81, 5th last time by. Can't seem to find his way toward the race lead, but he's been pretty much isolated down to that low lane. Now is the second car down in that low side. He's got the 07 of Bobby Stevenson there. B Dazzler on your screen there. The 07 was down in that low lane. But as we say that, the pack forms back up. Here comes those front two, being Bernie Mobbs in Milt Surratt, slot racer in the 62. They pulled back down. John Godfrey, the 3 swung up high. Now they're 3 wide in turn 3. A little bit of contact there between the Blake machine, the 26 of Jimmer, another vehicle up there as well. Also made contact. Wonderful driving by these guys. You got to think, Todd, is we're 48 laps now as they hit the start-finish line. Under 20 laps to go from here. You got to think it's a one-stop race from here. And if you're one of these guys out here, are you thinking to coming to pit row when that pit window opens, or are you going to stay out there and run that thing full of fuel and wait to the last possible second to come down to the pit lane?
Well, I think you're inside your field window right now. You're going to want a drafting partner if you come down early. Even if you do like an early pit stop, Phil, you're going to want a drafting partner. So you're going to have somebody to tangle with out there at the Talladega Superspeedway. You don't want to come in by yourself, because a lot of times you're going to lose a lot of time to this lead pack, and you're not going to want to do so. So I think thinking a drafting partner is going to play a key factor here in early pit stop. I think you can make it the rest of the way. We got guys coming down pit road right now, Phil, as we speak. Not sure who did, but there's 4 trucks down there on pit road.
Yeah, I saw the 26 of Jimmer pull down pit side there. He had lots of guys coming down. I think he saw 3 or 4 peel off there. I'm not sure if Rich had the DRTV punt cam in ready, but Jimmer in the 26 amongst many who have found their way to the pit lane. Todd, I believe you're in the camp of the 26.
Yeah, the 26 comes down into his pit lane, overshoots his pit stall. Costly mistake for the number 26 of Jimmer. Right side tires going on the number 26 machine. Looks like he's going to get 2 tanks of Sunoco Racing fuel and also left side tires. So interesting call here at the Talladega Superspeedway for the number 26 Jimmer. He is down and away, Phil.
I was down here in the 89 camp. That's Tracy Andrews. Looks like 4 tires on the 89, 4 tires and full of fuel. Now he's going to try to make his way to pit road. We have more guys, Todd, who have found their way to pit lane.
Yeah, more guys in the form of the number 3 of John Godfrey. Looks like he made a little bit of contact. I don't think they they spun around or anything. Couldn't quite catch the gap because I was trying to catch up with some of the leaders. Godfrey down in his pit stall, taking left side tires on that number 3 machine, getting 2 tanks of Sunoco Racing Fuel. Does not look like they're going to jack up the right side. They're not going to do so. So 2 tires to call for the number 3 of John Godfrey. Going to be also an interesting call. That's going to save him some time on the track, not taking 4 tires.
I'm down in the number 4 pit, that being Bernie Mobbs. He was out there with the majority of the race lead here through the middle sections of the race. Right side tires of the way of the land. Just a 2 tire stop. The 4 trucks full of fuel, and Bernie Mobbs in the 4 is down and away.
I'm down here in pit road with Stevenson, the driver of the number 07 machine. Dazzler, also known as, he's coming down to the aid of his pit crew. Slow, 55-mile-an-hour pace. He's not quite to his pit stall with that 07 machine. Real slow coming down pit road. It's got to be a long, long tow down pit road. He pulled into his pit stall. No overshooting for the 07 of Dazzler. Dazzler left side tires going on that truck in that 07 machine. Looks like it does not look like he's going to get right side tires. No right side tires for the 07 machine. Looks like he's going to be going down and away 2 tanks of Sunoco Racing Fuel.
I was down to Ray Hewlett Jr., the number 18 pits. Looks like it was just 2 tires on the left sides for the 18. Got that thing full of fuel, and Ray Hewlett Jr. hoping to stay in tow with the draft as he looks like he was all by his lonesome on this end of pit road. Is now the 18 is down and away and finding his way back onto the racing surface.
81 of Michael Blake coming down pit road, almost had a contact with the number 52 machine on the speedway. Jeff Krutzman almost bumped him right in the rear. I almost thought something was going to go on there and he might have got punted, but those guys got it low down enough and only made very slight contact. The 81 of Michael Blake coming down into the 8 of his pit crew, did not slide through his stall. Right side tires going on the number 81 machine of Michael Blake. Looks like the crew is putting fuel in also. Not sure if they're going to take left side tires. No left side tires on the 81, so right side tires only for the 81 of Michael Blake.
All right, well, just in the midst here of green flag pit stops, the first round we've seen all night here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Not quite done with this cycle yet, as I see the 15 of Scott Musgrove. He was a race leader last time by. He's peeled down onto the pit lane. I'm not sure, Todd, if this is a second trip through for that number 15, as he was out there with the 0 of Jarek and Jeff Bond in the number 6. Not sure if them guys have all come to pit road yet or nope. Here comes Musgrove, the 15, into his pit stall. Right side tires in the air on the 15. Right side, revving the engine, trying to get all the fuel in here. Is there going to be just outside of 10 laps to go? 53 up on the board. Just a 2-tire stop for that 15, and Musgrove is going to be down and away.
Yeah, I'm out on the track watching the number 6 of Jeff Bond. Only guy that has not come down to pit road. He is your current race leader. I think he's the last truck left to come down, and he's coming down pit road with the number 6 of Jeff Bond. Real slow entry here to pit lane for the number 6 of Jeff Bond. He's now at the line with the number 6 machine. 55 miles an hour at the line here at the Talladega Superspeedway. The number 6 Valvoline sponsored truck here of Jeff Bond coming to the aid of his pit crew. I almost guarantee you he's probably just going to get a gas and go in the number 6 machine. I think he's got enough tires to go, but I could be wrong. He could take 2 right side tires or 2 left side tires. Don't see many 4-tire pit stops here, but Jeff Bond now rolling into the aid of his pit crew right now. He's coming through some pit stalls and the sign's down. Jeff Bond does not overshoot his pit with the number 6 machine. Does not look like any tires going on the number 6 of Jeff Bond. No tires and 2 tanks of Sunoco Racing Fuel. He's going to be down and away, Phil, with that number 6 machine.
All right, well, going through here just now, completing this first round we've seen of green flag pit stops in 2 nights here at the Talladega Superspeedway. We have not seen much in the way of green flag pit stops, but out on the speedway as this field has cycled through, it is B. Dazzler, Bobby Stevenson in the 07. He was scored the race leader last time by John Godfrey, Mitt Surratt, known as Slot Racer on your screen, Michael Blake, and Jeff Krutzman in the 52-year pole sitter. Those look like the only 5 trucks that are going to be left here in tandem with the lead draft. They have a better than 4-second advantage, almost 5 seconds to Bernie Mobbs in the number 4. James Donaldson, the 71, Steve Wright in the 61, Jeff Bond and Scott Musgrove as well. So those guys way back, almost 5 seconds off of these guys, and we have a dozen laps left to go in this thing just through a set of green flag pit stops. But Rich Patton down on the DRTV control booth, never mind that, thought he had something he was going to show us. wasn't sure. He had whistled down, said he may have something to show that happened on those pit stops. But we have great racing action, Todd. 3, maybe 4 wide for the race lead into turn number 1.
Yeah, there was 4 wide there momentarily. These guys mixing it up amongst the top 5. These 5 trucks all by themselves. You got a few other trucks in the second pack. You have Bernie Mobs, James D, Steve Wright, Scott, and Jarek in the second pack. So there's a 2-5 truck tandem drafting packs there. So there's 2-5 trucks, but you also in the first pack got the number 9 of Chris Elliott, who's 19 laps in the rear. He's helping out this first pack, so I don't know if that second pack is going to be able to catch them with only about 11 laps, 10 laps to go here at the line. Lap 56 of 66 being completed as we come to the line. It looks like the number 52 of Jeff Prutzman is going to lead that time.
Yeah, the pole sitter found his way back to the front of the line, was involved in contact. Oh, as we say the word contact, we have an incident there in turn number 2. Multiple trucks got into the side of each other, spinning in contact, and that's going to put us under the yellow flag. Tough break for these guys. Did not want to see this amongst this lead group. And Todd, I cannot believe contact amongst the lead pack there. Those 5 cars had been able to break away. We're going to be in really, really good shape here with 10 laps to go. But unfortunately, contact these guys racing hard. And we're now once again under the yellow flag, the 4th of the evening.
Yeah, they're racing hard for the same real estate up front here. There's a tough break for some of these guys, but Prutzman was in the right place at the right time, and Prutzman is going to be your leader at the yellow flag here with, it looks like, going to be the number 81 of Michael Blake sitting in that second spot. The 3 of John Godfrey is running third. 4th on the field is right now, looks like Dazzler in the 07 machine. Stevenson still running strong here in the 4th position. A lot of these guys in this front pack did not want to see this yellow flag because they had a almost 5-second advantage over that second pack.
Yeah, looked like a couple of guys involved. Might have been Steve Wright and Milt Surratt, the number 62, known as Slot Racer on your screen. Those guys were up amongst the ranks of the top 5. We're going to try to run away and hide there and settle it amongst themselves, but incident on the racetrack, contact, spinning around, and a multiple vehicle incident here, putting us under the 4th yellow flag of the night, which is going to set up quite the shootout here. We're working lap number 57. We're inside of 10 laps to go here. 66 laps of distance at the Talladega Superspeedway for this Gary Silvey 50-50 tribute race over here at Afterburner Motorsports. An awesome event it's been. Slowed by 4 yellow flags. The average speed of the race, 142 miles per hour. That will no doubt slow down here. But once again, under the yellow flag. Let's see what happened here to put us under the yellow flag. We'll throw it down to the DRTV control booth to Rich. Rich, not sure what you got there to look at, but a multiple car incident.
Yeah, most definitely. The 81 and 62 looks like they made a little bit of contact. Wasn't sure which one and which went which direction. Tongue twister there a little bit, but the 81 and the 62 make a little bit of contact. Ultimately, the 62 Slot Racer is going to make his way up against the wall, comes back off the wall right in front of the 07. That's going to send him spinning right down the middle of the track. Meanwhile, there's a pack of cars coming. He's sitting duck in the middle of the track. Here comes trouble. We're going to pan this camera out just as he gets smacked by another truck, and it's not pretty. Boom, right head on. That's going to put him up on his side, flip him around a little bit, send him back up to the track, up into the outside barrier. You guys, he's going to have a lot of damage from that. Spinning around, sliding on his door, rolling across his roof. It's not a pretty sight for the 62 Slot Racer. Back up to you guys.
Well, Rich, I just have to ask you one question there. You giving that depiction of the replay. Did we see a little bit of roof surfing?
You know, that was such a short thing about the roof surfing there. I really didn't call it out, but yes, most definitely. He was sliding on his lid for a moment there.
All right, well, I was going to get one of those Richisms here to DRTV. The night is not complete for the gang up here, being Rich, myself, and the newly named Tornado Too Tall Todd Stanton up here in the booth with us here. Under the yellow flag, we're working lap number 58 of the 66. Under the yellow flag, the race leader currently is Jeff Prutzman. Can't imagine, Todd, that these guys have not visited pit lane for the last time. These guys here that have found the pit lane. I don't know if your guys further back, obviously guys in the incident are going to find their way to pit road. But if you're like Gary Hamill, the 17, Tracy Anderson, the 89, that were in that second pack, even Bernie Moms, we know he was fast in that number 4. Do you maybe come to pit road here, maybe put some fresh rubber on that thing? How much of a difference do you think that can play?
It's not going to make a whole whale of a difference, Phil. I mean, fresh rubber is going to make a little bit because you're going to stick to the track a little bit more, but I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. You may be able to make an evasive maneuver a little bit better with 4 fresh tires on versus 2. So you're going to have to see what some of these guys are going to do. I would come down pit road if I was in the second pack to the back of the pack there and get 4 fresh tires. And I would even top off on fuel, even though fuel was not going to be an issue here. Then it might as well just top off and add a little extra weight, maybe, and some downforce, and try to get a run towards its lead.
Well, a lot to be playing out here. Under 10 laps to go here. The Gary Silvey 50-50 race for Afterburner Motorsports. Slowed under the event's 4th yellow flag of the night here on DRTV, and just looking up and down the leaderboard here as we're under the yellow flag. I'd like to see if we can't maybe get one of these guys as we make our return trip to Afterburner Motorsports tonight. Can't thank them guys enough for allowing us to come over here and be part of this awesome broadcast. Todd, I think one of the faster guys we've seen out here through the middle stages of the race was no doubt Bernie Moms in that number 4. Let's see if we can't get a driver, away with the driver of that number 4, that being Bernie Moms. Bernie, it's Phil, Rich, and Todd in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, I do. Glad to hear from you.
Bernie having an awesome run out there in that number 4. I'm sure you were really, really happy to see that yellow flag as you guys were Mount Round up there in a second pack that was almost chasing down the race leaders. Did you have enough time if that thing were to stay green?
I think we had a good shot at it. We was in a good draft and picking them up. I was actually involved in the accident a little bit, so I got some damage. I'm hoping I can run to the end.
Oh, well, we're really sorry to hear that, as you've been really, really having a great drive out there in that number 4. Led a lot of this middle section here until the later state of this race. Do you think you have anything left in that number 4 here? You're going to be restarting from probably about that 10th position. Can you make a run from here in that number 4?
Yeah, 4 fresh Goodyear tires, and I'm ready to go.
Well, that's good to hear. We'll wish you the best of luck, Bernie, here one last time. First time we're going to talk to you here on DRTV. Oh, really good to talk to you. Is there anybody like to say hi to out there is watching on YouTube tonight? Anybody like to thank for allowing that number 4 to come out on the racetrack this evening?
I'd like to thank Team Falcon Tire and all the guys at TNTRL. Thanks a lot.
All right, well, that's Bernie Mobbs, Todd, the driver of the number 4. He's had a great ride out there tonight. As he said, he was involved a little bit in that last yellow flag. We'll have to keep an eye on Bernie because he, no doubt, has been one of the faster trucks out there all evening.
I can't believe some of these guys right now. It's going to be a whale of a finish. We're coming up on lap number 60 of 66 here at the Talladega Superspeedway, and the Gary Silvey 50-50 race pace lights out atop that beautifully prepared DRTV van. Also got to give a shout out to J-Rock, who made that nice van possible here on DRTV. So thanks, J-Rock, for the beautifully prepared van.
All right, well, lights are out on the pace vehicle. See if we can't give you a quick full field rundown here, as we're going to be just outside of 5 laps to go when we put this thing back under the green flag. Jeff Prutzman, the pole sitter of that Exide Chevrolet, is your current race leader. B. Dazzler, and that being Bobby Stevenson, the 07, currently second. Scott Musgrove is third. Keith McAllister, known as Jarek, in that number 0 on your screen, he's fourth. Eric Regan, the 199, having a great run. He's out there in that top 5, currently fifth. Jeff Bond, Ray Hewlett, James Donaldson, John Godfrey, Bernie Mobbs there in the number 4. That's currently your top 10. 10 through 15, we find Steve Wright in the 61. Gary Hamill, Milt Surratt, slot racer, in that 62. He's 13th. Jimmer, that's Jim McConnell. He's currently 14th in that 26, and running it with top 15, Todd, is Tracy Anders in that number 89. And last guy on the lead lap there is Michael Blake in that number 81. Michael's been fast all evening long as well. He'll be one of them guys, Todd, to keep your eye on. 16 truck strong, still on a lead lap here. We're going to be 5 laps to go when we put this thing back under green.
Yeah, pace lights are extinguished atop the DRTV pace van there. Jeff Prutzman, your current race leader. Phil, just a quick question for you. Prutzman right now has a bunch of hungry wolves behind him. You think Prutzman can be able to hold these guys off, or you thinking somebody else is going to be able to pull into victory lane here this evening?
Oh, are you trying to bait me into the DRTV black cloud? Todd, the tornado, Todd Stanton trying to to maybe give away the black cloud. So if you're going to ask me to answer that question, the 52 of Prutzman, he was fast all night long, put that thing up on the pole, but as you know, qualifying trim's a whole different beast than race trim. Just been fast all night long, but if I have to make a call for anybody amongst this top group that may be able to make a run at the race win, I'm going to go to the 07 there, Dazzler, Bobby Stevenson. He's been really, really good all night long, too. He's currently outside of that front row as they take the green flag in that 07. Keep an eye on him. He's going to have hopefully not the DRTV black cloud, so we'll have to keep an eye on him as the field is under the green flag and sprinting down the backstretch, all chafing Jeff Prutzman in the 52.
Yeah, Prutzman had a whale of a lead there with that 52 machine. He's coming down on the bottom side of the speedway, the 07 of Dazzler. Stevenson is trying to work over the top side of the speedway with the number 0 of Jarek. Jarek trying to come up on the back bumper of that 07 of Stevenson. Prutzman trying to go from bottom to top, trying to make sure these guys stay behind him. He's using his mirror right now, but here comes the 07 of Stevenson charging hard on the top side of the speedway.
7 is wound up in that high lane. He has a lot of help in that high side from the 15 of Musgrove up there in that high lane. Prutzman is down low. Musgrove is the 15. He's in the low side, pushing the 52 of Prutzman, trying to get their way past Stevenson in that number 07. The 0 truck is up in that high lane. That's Jarek. Keith McAllister, the number 0. Awesome paint scheme on the 0 machine, currently rolling around in fourth. Second car in that high lane. Todd, they're going to put 63 laps up on the board this time by. Still 2 wide for the race lead as they exit turn 4.
Yeah, 2 by 2 by 2, 8 rows deep right now. Looks like the number 52 of Prutzman right now, your current race leader, but the 07 of Dazzler. Stevenson trying to work back on the top side of the speedway. The number 6 machine of Jeff Bond, he's peeked his way up inside the top 5 there momentarily. He's running third in line on the top side of the speedway. Here comes the 199 of Eric Reagan. Reagan right now running in that 5th spot on the bottom side. The 3 of John Godfrey working on the bottom too. So these guys pushing each other down the back straightaway. Something may give here. These guys really starting to get real racy at the Talladega Superspeedway for the Gary Silvey 50-50 race here with the Afterburner Motorsports Group.
Well, Todd, you've hit on it. It's a 50-50 race. These top 3 guys are racing in a dash for cash here with less than 5 laps to go. Jeff Prutzman is leading the charge on that low side, but it looks like it's going to be Bobby Stevenson, Dazzler, the 07. He's pulling the train on the outside. Looks like he may unofficially be scored the race leader this time by. Too close to call. 0.015 seconds is the interval at the start-finish line. 2 wide racing. The pack is made up of the top 15, all in line. Unfortunately for guys like Michael Blake in the 81, he's fallen off the pace. He's currently 16th. Damage to that machine also. Ron Dean, the 48, he's currently 17th. Those guys scored an elite lap. They're not going to be a factor in this thing as we're less than 3 laps to go from the conclusion. But it's 2 wide up for the front for the race lead. Stevenson, the 07 up high. The 52 of Prutzman down low in that Exide Chevrolet. Todd, looks like the low lane may win out as they exit turn 4.
You're seeing a lot of these guys start to jockey for position. Here comes Godfrey down on the bottom side trying to make a 3 wide aboard that number 3 machine. He's going to do so. Looks like the number 15 is going to be shuffled out of line. I believe that's the 15 machine. Nope, it's a 199 machine. He is now stuck in that sucker hole. The 199 now going to try to squeeze in up top, and he's going to do so in front of the 0 of Derek. But Godfrey now up to 3rd. He's going to push the number 15.
Now, one guy that got drop kicked out of line and all that jockeying for position was Jeff Bond in that number 6. He's now pushing up the McAllister machine. Jarek in the number 0. They're trying to find their way around the top side, 3 wide. Can't seem to make anything of that as they come back to a line. This time by Todd, white flag's going to be in the air as they exit turn 4.
Looks like somebody's up in smoke, but we're still clean and green here. Looks like, somebody hard into the outside wall. Yellow flag is going to fly. Bond hard into the outside wall.
Not sure if they've taken the yellow flag yet, or this is going to be the race for the win as they're going to exit off of turn number 2. Ken Prutzman hold on in that number 52 as they exit turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. They're still wrecking down the backstretch. Mayhem breaking out on the backstretch. Bernie Mobbs, the number 4, is roll out of the gas. Here comes John Godfrey. in that number 3 as they race into turn 3. Todd, not sure these guys are up to full song for the race lead. Not sure if this one has already been decided, as these guys seem to be almost half throttle off of turn number 4, but they're all going to be chasing Jeff Prutzman to the checkered flag as they hit the tri-oval.
Yeah, Jeff Prutzman's going to bring down the 50-50 Gary Silvey Memorial Race here with the Afterburner Motorsports Group. Aboard the number 52 machine, second should be the number 3 of John Godfrey. The 15 is going to finish Musgrove. Scott Musgrove going to finish in that third spot. So those top 3 right there are going to be a little bit padding their pockets just a little bit more here this evening here with the Gary Silvey 50-50 race. Fourth place looks like it's going to go to the 61 of Stephen Wright. 5th, the 199 of Eric Reagan. 6th, the 07 of Dazzler. 7th, Gary Hamill aboard the 17. Bernie Mobbs in that 8th position. 9th, the number 71 of James D. 10th, the number 89 of Tracy Enders. And now everything's switching around. A lot of carnage out there on the speedway. So 89 of Tracy Enders going to finish in that 8th spot. Then 9th to 26 of Jimmer. 10th to 71 of James D. 11th is going to be the 48 of Ron Dean. Michael Blake moved up to the 12th position. Bernie Mobb took a huge hit in that number 4 machine. He's going to finish 13th. Ray Holick Jr. is going to be finished 14th. 15th, the number 6 of Jeff Bond. 16th to 43 of Bob D. Derrick going to finish 17th. So this is all unofficial. This race is not going to be over, but Prutzman bringing it down in front of the fans here at the Talladega Superspeedway, live here on DRTV, and he's going to burn it down and use all that rubber up that he's got left on that 52 machine. Congratulations to the number 52 machine of Jeff Prutzman on this win here for the Gary Silvey 50-50 race in the Afterburner Motorsports Group.
Well, developing situation here, Todd, is the standings have jumbled around, and I'm not sure what quite may have happened there, but not sure if timing and scoring was an issue or not, so we'll have to sort this out. So give us just a minute here. We'll try to sort out the top 3 as we customarily do interview the top 3 here on DRTV. Looks like Jeff Prutzman is going to be scored the race win as he is doing all the burnouts on the front straightaway. Todd, give us here. You can give us here just a few seconds here to reset the top 3, and then we can maybe get a word with these guys.
Yeah, watching Prutzman burn it down here, down in right in front of the fans, right in front of that flagger stand, smoke pouring up into the flagger's face, and the smell of burned rubber is always a good thing when you're down here burning it out, and all the fans up in the stands on their feet cheering for the number 52 of Jeff Prutzman. Prutzman, again, your race winner here, the Gary Silvey 50-50 race. Again, the top 3 guys got some money here going because you had to donate $15 to get into this race. 25% goes to the winner, 15% for second, and 10% for third. 50% of this went back to the league as kind of a donation fund to help cover costs of the Afterburner Motorsports Group.
All right, well, we'll move into the Gary Silvey 50-50 race post-race show here for Afterburner Motorsports here on DRTV. Looks like Jeff Prutzman is officially going to be the race winner, followed by John Godfrey, the number 3, and rolling off from 3rd position tonight. Going to finish up in that 3rd position. We'll see if we can't get away with the driver of the 15, that being Scott Musgrove. Scott Fillicast from DRTV, do you have a copy?
I got you, sir. Go ahead.
Scott, an awesome run out there in the number 15, able to bring it home 3rd. Tell us about them closing laps out there. His guys were just jockeying up all over for position.
It was intense. You just didn't know what lane to get in when it was, we're down a couple to go. You knew that something was going to happen, something was going to have to give. And when it got down to, I think it was the last lap, I decided to go to the outside. I had an opening, and unfortunately the top lane had a truck that went into the wall and lost momentum, but I was able to hang on for 3rd, and it was a real good race. Wish we'd had a few more long green runs, but everybody did a good job out there, and I'm just proud to be a part of this race for Mr. Gary Silvey.
No, an absolute 10-4 to that. Always great to pay tribute to one of these guys like Gary Silvey. A lot of great words about him tonight. Scott, congratulations on a 3rd place run. It was an awesome race for all you guys over here at Afterburner Motorsports. Is there anybody like to say hi to or thank for allowing that 15 machine out on the speedway this evening?
Well, just like to say thanks to Afterburner, especially because, we've got a really good league over here, and, I started here, and it's been a long ride, and we've, just had a good league, and it's grown immensely over the last 4 or 5 years. So that's who I'd like to say thanks to, is our league.
All right, Todd. Well, that's the driver of the 15, Scott Musgrove, your third place finisher here tonight for this Gary Silvey 50-50 race. And Todd, I'm going to throw it down to you here. I think you're going to have the number 3, that being John Godfrey. So Todd, off to you.
Yeah, I'm down here with the driver of the number 3, second place finisher here in the Gary Silvey 50-50 race, John Godfrey. Godfrey, I tell you what, tell us a little bit about that finish. I'm still wowed about it, and you came home second here this evening, and tell us what was going through your head and thoughts that you had going through with those last couple of laps there.
Well, it was definitely a nail-biter. Boys gave me a great truck. The team really busted their butt, and we had a setback early and got spun, but fortunately nobody hit us and didn't have any damage. Just came in, got 4 new tires, and went back at it. It was exciting for sure.
Indeed, it was an exciting race to watch from up here in the booth, John. And I tell you, what kind of strategies do you play coming into these big events like this? And I seen you up front most of the evening here in that number 3 machine, but did you have any strategy prior to this that maybe somebody could use in a later broadcasted race, or even another league? Any suggestions for like a restrictor plate track?
No, really, you just got to see how things play themselves out. That's just whoever's with you at the end to be your dance partner. You got to go with them.
Well, John, I'm going to give you a little bit of the floor here and let you thank whoever you would like to thank out here in YouTube land, anybody here at Afterburner Motorsports. John, the microphone is all yours.
Well, thank you. First, I'd like to thank my team for giving me a great truck, and also take a moment to reflect back on Gary Silvey. This race was in his honor. He was a great guy and a great racer, and we miss him terribly.
Well, that's the second place driver here in the Gary Silvey 50-50 race here with Afterburner Motorsports, the number 3 of John Godfrey. I'm going to throw it down to victory lane with Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, I believe, who's caught up with our winner, the number 52 of Jeff Prutzman.
Yeah, I'm at my way down here to victory lane here at Talladega Superspeedway. I'm down here with the number 52 of Jeff Prutzman. Jeff, you won this thing, buddy. How you feel?
It feels awesome. Started on the pole, and I just wanted to slip back and ride this thing out for a while and see how things worked out. And towards the end, my partner Michael Blake from RHR Racing, I thought we had it figured out perfect, fuel-wise, strategy-wise. Avoided getting too much damage. I got caught up in one little thing, and it set me back into the pits, and I was just crossing my fingers hoping I didn't have to have my engine shut off and repaired or whatever. Just a little bit of body damage. Didn't seem to hurt it once it got fixed, but that was awesome. That was really awesome.
Yes, indeed, a spectacular race, and as you mentioned, you started out on the pole tonight showing some muscle early on in the evening. Also, throughout the event, you seemed to have a strong truck, was able to get up front, stay up front for quite a while, pretty much could move through the field how you wanted. You must have been pretty comfortable in that truck. Anybody out there you wanted to give a big thanks to or big shout-out to? I'm going to go ahead and give the floor all to you, sir. Congratulations again on this win.
Thank you. Yeah, to Ray for putting this thing all together, and Afterburner Motorsports online racing. Check them out, because I've been over there a few times. I'm from Real Hardcore Racing, RHR, realhardcoreracing.com. My partner Michael Blake was over here with me tonight, and we were doing fine until he got caught up in a mess, evidently caused a caution, had to go down pit road in the late laps. And towards the finish here, where I thought we could both just go through there like 1-2, but once he had to pit and fall to the back, I thought I was toasted. And I got to give another thank out to Jarek for giving me some pushes to keep me going along in the last 5 or 6 laps. And then I don't know what happened. He had an electrical problem or something, and he had to drop out. But I probably wouldn't have been able to do it without his help. So, big shout out to him too.
Yeah, I hear that. Lots of thanks to everybody out on the track. I know you want to hurry up and get behind this wall and get over there and start partying with all your fans and your crew. Just one more thing, right towards the end, it looks like it was going to be a fuel strategy. Looks like everybody was really trying to figure out what was going to happen, and then all of a sudden the caution come out. When that caution came out, and we were inside 10 to go, and then we saw another caution, what were you thinking? Were you thinking, hang on, block it, try to stay out front? I mean, it had to get intense during those last couple laps.
Yeah, that was, I don't understand it, but the last run, I had a lot more left side tire wear than I did in the first few runs. And so I was flipping a coin whether to, and Michael had to go to the back, my partner, and because of the caution penalty, and I thought maybe I should pit with him and both of us go from the back, and there was 9 to go. We were still under yellow, so when we were going to go back to green, I think there was 7 to go. So him and I talked, and he told me to just stay out there and just drive as hard as I could, and that's basically what I did. I could have used a set of left side tires, but I just stayed out there in the front. It wasn't as easy to get to the front as you might think it was. You couldn't just dart your way through traffic. It took a while. And with 7 laps to go, starting in the back I don't think it was an option.
10-4. Well, evidently you made the right decisions. Your crew made the right decisions. Everything worked out for you tonight. 50-50 race for Gary Silvey tonight. Got a little bit extra change in your pocket out of this one, probably. Congratulations once again to the win. I'm going to go ahead and let you get back to your crew and get back to celebrating this awesome win tonight here in Talladega. I'm going to send it back up to the guys. Phil, Todd, sending it back up to you in the booth. I'm going to stay down here and see what's going on.
Well, we've been here at Talladega Superspeedway for 2 nights now, Todd. We've seen some awesome racing, and kudos there to Jeff Prutz from the 52 and all these guys at Afterburner Motorsports for what turned into a really, really awesome race to pay tribute there to their fallen friend Gary Silvey.
Yeah, fantastic race here put on by the Afterburner Motorsports Group, Afterburner Motorsports League, and for the Gary Silvey 50-50 race. And I have to say congratulations to Jeff Brutzman and your top 3 and all the drivers here for putting on an amazing show here live on DRTV. And I'm ready to get over here at Talladega and go take a break from Talladega and grab a beverage and get ready for my flight home.
Well, an absolute 10-4 to that. Myself, as well as we've spent the whole evening here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Great to be on hand. We've had an awesome 2 nights here. Next up on the docket for us here at DRTV, next Saturday night, we return to the DRTV Premier Cup Series. Restrictor plate racing once again. The Daytona International Speedway will play host to the DRTV Premier Cup Series, the Dyno Racing 200 from Daytona next Saturday night. Airtime right around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So look out. Find us at our website, drlracing.com. We'll have the broadcast link posted there as well. And also find us at our DRL Racing Facebook page, DRTV on Facebook. Look for us there. And of course, if you'd like to get your league on DRTV, drlracing.com. Check out all the great event packages. Get Rich, Todd, and myself over to your place, and we'll be thrilled to be aboard and show everybody what you got going on here for all your needs here in the NASCAR Racing 2-on-3 community. So on behalf of my broadcast partners in the booth, Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, the Tornado Too Tall, Todd Stanton, my name is Phil Lacasse. Thank you for watching this latest installment of DRTV.
1, 2.